young scientists and story lovers. Welcome to It's Story Time, kids. I'm your storyteller, and boy, do I have an amazing tale for you today. Are you ready for a story about friendship, science experiments, and maybe a few explosions? Well, get comfortable, because we're about to meet two best friends who discover that sometimes working together is the greatest experiment of all. Oh, and remember, you can see beautiful illustrations of this story at onceuponastorytime.in. That's onceuponastorytime.in. Now let's journey to a bright science lab in Bangalore, India, where our adventure begins. 12-year-old Meera Krishnan carefully slipped on her safety goggles. The science lab at Vidya Niketan School sparkled with afternoon sunlight, streaming through tall windows. Test tubes gleamed like crystal, and the air smelled faintly of chemicals and possibility. Across the table, her best friend Ananya Sharma tucked a long, dark braid behind her ear and grinned. Her eyes danced with mischief.
Ready for another famous science experiment?
Meera asked, arranging test tubes in perfect straight rows because Meera liked everything just so.
You mean another one of your perfectly organized disasters?
Ananya teased, pulling out a notebook covered in colorful sketches of molecules, rainbows, and doodles.
Remember when your perfectly measured volcano exploded all over Mrs. Patel's desk?
That wasn't a disaster.
Meera protested, her dark eyes sparkling behind her goggles.
That was an unexpected surprise.
The girls burst into giggles. They'd been the best lab partners for 2 whole years. While other students groaned and complained about science class, these two friends couldn't wait to explore mysteries together. You see, they were like two pieces of a puzzle. Meera was brilliant at careful planning, measuring twice and cutting once. Ananya? She was full of wild, creative ideas that made ordinary experiments extraordinary.
What if, Akia,
Ananya whispered during the acid-base experiment, her voice full of wonder.
what if we add the special liquid drop by drop instead of all at once? We might see the color changes better.
But the instructions say to add 5 drops at once.
Meera replied, holding the instruction sheet. But she watched, fascinated, as Ananya began adding drops slowly. 1, 2, 3. Like magic, the liquid transformed. Yellow became orange. Orange turned to red. Red shifted to purple. It was like watching a sunset in fast forward.
We can see each step of the reaction.
Meera gasped, completely forgetting about those careful instructions. Mrs. Sharma, their teacher, hurried over. Her sari swished as she walked. Excellent thinking, girls. You two make a wonderful team. As they cleaned up, Ananya sketched the beautiful colors while Meera wrote down exact measurements. They worked in perfect harmony, creativity meeting careful planning, like music and lyrics coming together to make a song.
This could be perfect for the state science fair.
Ananya said excitedly, her paintbrush creating purple swirls in her notebook.
With your technical skills and my creative ideas, we'd be amazing.
Little did they know, a storm was brewing. 3 days later, the entire middle school gathered in the assembly hall. Principal Rao stood at the podium, his mustache twitching with excitement.
Students, I have thrilling news.
His voice boomed through the microphone.
Our school has been chosen to participate in the state science fair. The theme is Science for a Better Tomorrow. And here's the best part. The winning project receives a full scholarship to the Indian Institute of Science summer program.
Meera's heart raced like a hummingbird's wings. She dreamed of IISC since she was 8 years old, when her father first showed her pictures of their incredible laboratories. But then Mrs. Sharma stepped forward, and her next words changed everything.
This year's competition focuses on individual creativity and leadership,
She announced.
We want to see what each student can accomplish on their own.
Individual projects? Meera looked at Ananya. Ananya looked at Meera. For the first time in their friendship, neither girl knew what to say. After assembly, they rushed to their teacher.
Surely we can work together?
Meera asked hopefully.
I'm sorry, girls.
Mrs. Sharma said, her voice apologetic but firm.
The rules are very clear. Individual work only. The committee wants to see each student's unique approach to science.
Walking home that afternoon, an uncomfortable silence grew between them like a wall of ice. When they reached their usual corner, where they always hugged goodbye, their embrace felt stiff, uncertain. Neither girl realized this was the moment their friendship began to crack. Not dramatically, like shattering glass, but slowly, like poison seeping into clear water. That evening, Meera's parents could barely contain their excitement. Her father, a tech executive, pulled up research papers on his tablet.
This is perfect, beta.
He said, his fingers flying across the screen.
Choose something technical. Robotics, artificial intelligence, machine learning. These subjects will definitely impress the judges.
Her mother added, gently but firmly.
Remember, Ananya is your competition now. You need to focus on winning.
Meanwhile, at the Sharma household, Ananya faced different but equally intense pressure.
Show them that traditional knowledge matters.
Her father encouraged.
We don't need expensive gadgets. We have wisdom passed down through generations.
Both girls went to bed that night feeling the weight of their family's expectations pressing down on their shoulders like heavy backpacks. Over the following weeks, the best friends drifted apart like boats on different currents. Meera threw herself into building a self-driving water testing robot. She stayed up past midnight, her eyes burning from staring at computer code. The programming was harder than anything she'd tried alone. Without Ananya's creative problem solving, she kept hitting the same walls over and over. Ananya spent her afternoons at Ulsor Lake, learning traditional water testing methods from local fishermen and grandmothers. Her research was fascinating, but surrounded by other students' high-tech projects, she worried hers seemed too simple. Their lunch conversations became awkward competitions.
How's your project?
Meera asked one Tuesday, picking at her rice.
Good.
Ananya replied carefully.
I'm discovering amazing connections between old knowledge and modern science. Yours?
Making significant technical progress?
Meera said formally, like a robot herself. What they didn't share spoke louder than words. Meera's programming struggles, Ananya's worries, their loneliness without each other. Disaster struck during practice presentations. Meera's sleek robot impressed the judges until the demonstration. When she turned it on, the motors made the sensors go haywire. Numbers flashed randomly on the screen like a broken calculator.
The motors interfere with the sensors?
She admitted, her face burning red.
I'm still trying to fix it.
How do you plan to solve this?
A judge asked. Meera's mind went blank. She'd been stuck on this exact problem for weeks. An hour later, Ananya presented her research with passion. But the judges questioned whether it was advanced enough.
Where's the innovation?
One asked.
How does this advance scientific knowledge?
Both presentations ended with polite but disappointed responses. When results were posted, neither girl advanced to finals. Walking to the bus stop in drizzling rain, weeks of frustration exploded like that long ago volcano.
Maybe if you'd done real science instead of just talking to people, you might have succeeded.
Meera snapped.
At least my project was genuine research, not showing off with broken toys.
Ananya shot back. The words flew between them like arrows, each one finding its mark.
Your project was basically social studies with water samples.
Ananya felt the words hit like a physical blow.
I'm glad we worked separately. Now I know what you really think of me.
She walked away, leaving Meera alone in the rain. That evening, both girls did what scientists do best. They analyzed their failure. Meera wrote in her notebook,
Project failed due to technical problems I couldn't solve alone. No creative problem solving help. No one to check my work. Conclusion?
She stared at that blank space, the truth staring back at her. Ananya treated their friendship like a scientific experiment.
Hypothesis: working separately makes us stronger. Result: both projects failed. Analysis: we lost our balance, our support, our joy. Conclusion: we are better together.
3 days later, Ananya found Meera in the library, surrounded by robotics books, looking lost.
I've been analyzing our projects like an experiment.
Ananya said quietly.
Want to see my conclusions?
As she explained, Meera found herself nodding, then smiling, then almost crying.
I owe you an apology.
Meera said.
Your research was real, innovative science. I was wrong and mean.
I owe you one too. Calling your robot showing off was unfair and untrue.
They looked at each other across the table, the same thought blooming in both minds like a shared experiment.
What if we combined our projects?
They said in unison, then laughed, their first real laugh in weeks. Mrs. Sharma was delighted when they asked to work together for the district environmental showcase. This is wonderful. Real scientific breakthroughs happen through collaboration, not competition. Over 6 weeks, they rebuilt both their friendship and their project. They created a robot that worked with community knowledge instead of replacing it. The robot collected water samples from locations chosen by local communities, then brought them to stable testing stations.
It's simpler than my original design,
Meera admitted.
but it actually works.
And it respects traditional knowledge while adding modern verification.
Ananya added proudly. At the district showcase in the famous IISC auditorium, Meera and Ananya presented as a true team. They supported each other through tough questions, building on each other's answers like scientists should.
How did you develop such effective teamwork?
A judge asked. The girls exchanged a knowing look.
We learned about teamwork by temporarily losing it.
Meera said.
We discovered we are much better scientists together.
They won first place in the teamwork category. But standing on stage, holding their certificate together, both girls knew the real prize was different. They'd learned that being smart didn't mean working alone. The best discoveries happened when different minds worked together with respect and curiosity. 6 months later, back in Mrs. Sharma's classroom, the friends worked on their latest project, Their water monitoring system now helped 3 Bangalore communities.
You know what I love about science?
Ananya said, adjusting sensors.
What?
Meera asked, analyzing data.
It's like friendship. The more you share, the more you discover. The more you work together, the stronger your results.
Meera smiled.
Plus, it's way more fun celebrating discoveries together. Ready for our next experiment?
Meera asked.
Always.
Ananya grinned.
What should we discover today?
And as the robot hummed to life, both girls knew they'd learned the most valuable scientific principle of all. That together, they could solve mysteries neither could solve alone. And that, my young friends, is how Meera and Ananya discovered that the greatest experiments aren't always in test tubes and robots. Sometimes they're in the friendships we build and rebuild. This story has been brought to you by Once Upon a Story Time. Remember, you can read the beautifully illustrated version of The Lab Partners and many more stories at once upon a storytime.in. We also have a YouTube channel where select stories come to life in visual format. Just search for It's Storytime Kids by Once Upon a Storytime on YouTube. Until next time, keep experimenting, keep wondering, and most importantly, keep sharing your discoveries with friends. This is It's Storytime Kids saying, see you next Storytime.